Major funding for NJTV News is provided in part by RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. NJM Insurance Group, serving the insurance needs of New Jersey residents and businesses for more than 100 years. And Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Tonight on NJTV News, commuters brace for a new normal.
2 lanes on Route 495 will close starting Friday, squeezing the bottleneck into the Lincoln Tunnel. The summer of hell is about to get much worse.
Governor Murphy declares a state of emergency for the counties hardest hit by flooding and uses TCNJ as a backdrop to announce a major expansion to public-private partnerships in the government.
Celebrations like this one are taking place in honor of National Health Center Week. We take a look at how they're helping the community.
Plus, those single-use plastic bags that litter the state are now banned from some parks. In one county, it's BYOB. Those stories and more next on NJTV News.
Live from the Agnes Varus NJTV studio at 2 Gateway Center in Newark, this is NJTV News with Mary Alice Williams.
Hello, thank you for joining us. The bridge replacement project that threatens to turn the chronically clogged Lincoln Tunnel traffic ablaze with brake lights starts Friday. Transportation officials outlined the plans for a 2.5-year-long project that leaves commuters few alternatives. Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan got briefed.
Definitely. I definitely think it's going to be a mess.
Commuters like Zach Zotolo dread what's coming. Thousands of drivers headed for the Lincoln Tunnel on Route 495 will get squeezed into a bottleneck starting Friday night. That's when 2 lanes will close, one in each direction, on the bridge crossing routes 1 and 9 in North Bergen. Vehicles will have to merge from 4 lanes down to 3. Traffic will jam and back up, and it'll stay that way for 2.5 years while workers rehabilitate the crumbling bridge.
There's going to be some bad days in the next 2 years. And we're all going to have to just bear with it. And I wish there was a solution.
We are very sensitive to the fact that this project is going to impact folks' life for the next 2.5 years. This is construction that can't wait. If we want to restore our infrastructure to what it should be, we're all going to have to take a deep breath and be patient.
New Jersey's Transportation Commissioner explained the 80-year-old bridge shows signs of extreme corrosion. You can literally see through holes rusted into the steel. But the timing for this bridge rehab project couldn't be worse, coming during the so-called second summer of hell as NJ Transit cancels multiple trains every day, leaving even fewer options for beleaguered commuters.
If the governor inherited anything that looks like a perfect storm, it would be a project like this.
Just during the morning rush, 9,200 vehicles per hour pass this point. 150,000 vehicles a day travel Route 495. The lane closures will snarl traffic and send frustrated drivers seeking escape routes down side streets. Police warn they'll be waiting to turn cars away and issue tickets to any hapless motorist who blocks the box in Weehawken, Union City, North Bergen, or Secaucus.
We will shut down our local roads from Route 3, keep the traffic on Route 3, because we can't have them clogging up all our roads and it's not moving.
Think of people coming off 495 and trying to traverse local streets into Union City. It could really, really cripple us. But there's a plan in place. We're working closely with DOT.
And our main goal is we have to make sure the roads are open for police, fire, ambulance, and school buses.
To help ease congestion, officials have detoured the 31st Street ramp from Kennedy Boulevard away from 495 westbound. Commuting alternatives, the exclusive bus lane will continue to operate so commuters can try park-in rides at North Bergen and at the Vince Lombardi rest stop on the Turnpike. Or take the George Washington or Goethals Bridges or the Holland Tunnel. Skew your work hours. Work from home.
I hate to say if you have to go to New York, don't. But there'll be moments in time when people may feel that way.
Advice from AAA, if you're going to drive this route, leave early. Gas up the night before. Don't be the guy that runs out of gas and jams up the traffic jam. And grit your teeth. Nobody's going to be happy about this. In North Bergen, I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJTV News.
Launching critical highway infrastructure projects like that just got easier. Governor Murphy signed a law allowing private companies to partner with public entities to fund capital projects. Brianna Venozzi reports.
The bill signing was today's main attraction, but Governor Murphy, fresh off a Monday evening tour of flood-damaged communities, had the widespread destruction on his mind.
190 flooded homes in Little Falls, 210 in Woodland Park, just to pick those two communities.
His administration today issuing a state of emergency for Passaic, Essex, Bergen, Monmouth, and Ocean counties, where 2 months' worth of rain fell in just a matter of hours over the weekend, and many remain evacuated.
That means we can more quickly activate the potential for federal funding. The hurdle we have to hit is high. I have to say that to everybody. But we were able to do it with the blizzards, and we're going to be as aggressive as possible.
In what could be a partial solution for budget woes, Governor Murphy used the College of New Jersey as a backdrop, signing a bill expanding public-private partnerships. P3, as they call it in Trenton, allows for private investments in public projects without burden on taxpayers. Up until now, it was limited to public colleges and universities like here. With the new law,
it's almost anything. It could be a local library, highway construction, transit related, the whole raft of infrastructure.
This bill is better than the last P3 bill that we did because it expanded into infrastructure. New Jersey is going to be the lead, in this country in making investments to improve our infrastructure, our universities. It's wonderful, but it's just so much more we can do. We were just scratching the surface.
The state treasurer will have to sign off on any investments attached to the projects. The Economic Development Authority will have oversight. The bill is a bipartisan upgrade to a previous law, with certain projects still under a different jurisdiction, like the long-anticipated Gateway Tunnel.
This is a big deal, not just in New Jersey, moving the needle in the P3 world, but if you compare what we're doing today in New Jersey, I think almost to any American state, we're opening this up wide.
Murphy also took questions on New Jersey Transit, saying he's fully committed to seeing through the needed improvements, and a call from Essex County exec Joe DiVincenzo to reenact the 2% salary cap for police and fire raises.
There are good arguments on both sides, both on the side of the unions as well as on the side of the folks who want to have some feeling like property taxes aren't going to get away from it. It's something that the legislature and I've said I'm willing to raise my hand to try to find some common ground.
As for those flood-ravaged communities, Governor Murphy says as of right now he's not scheduled to visit any other towns, but his administration is working closely with state, local, and federal leaders to secure the funding needed for the cleanup. In Ewing Township, Brianna Venozzi, NJTV News.
New Jersey manufacturers are facing a labor gap, with open jobs going begging and public policies like a minimum wage hike that affect their bottom line. But Trump's trade tariffs dominated discussion at a legislative hearing in Metuchen. Andrew Schmertz reports.
There wasn't much disagreement between manufacturers and a bipartisan caucus of state lawmakers over the impact trade tariffs are having on businesses here.
Really devastating, and that's why we're here today. We're hoping to get some testimony. This is probably, I think, the largest turnout of any manufacturing caucus they've had, and folks are concerned.
In the spring, President Trump imposed 25% tariffs on some foreign-made steel and 10% tariffs on some foreign-made aluminum. New Jersey manufacturers use imported steel to make a range of everyday products. Gary Dubois from Arrow Fastener says he needs foreign-made steel to make staples and staple guns.
We're trying to keep jobs in New Jersey. We have 350 people in Saddlebrook, but we're competing against people who are bringing product in from overseas, most predominantly China.
The legislators' manufacturing caucus gathered in a packed warehouse of chemical maker Spec Certaprep, and they heard from the choir. Everyone sang the same tune of despair over the tariffs. Because tariffs are a federal issue, state lawmakers here today grappled with just how much they could do to help local companies. They talked about writing resolutions and getting other states together to tell Congress that the tariffs are just bad for business. One concrete idea that they had was to offer some tax credits.
Trying to get through legislation that will give some type of a tax credit for the purchase of steel or aluminum purchased for manufacturing in their product.
While New Jersey businesses say they are the losers in this trade war, there are winners. Several steel giants, including U.S. Steel, have told investors that they are benefiting from the tariffs. And this week, the Congressional Research Service told Congress that the tariffs have brought in $1.4 billion in extra revenue to the government in 5 months. Tariffs weren't the only thing manufacturers complained about today. They questioned how a proposed $15 minimum wage would hit them and wondered how the industry can solve a labor shortage and convince high school kids that this is a good, high-paying career path. The Independent New Jersey Manufacturing Extension Program helped arrange today's gathering.
We need to expose kids to different opportunities in life, careers paths, and we don't. And not just in manufacturing or STEM, but a lot of different careers.
Careers that businesses fear are now at risk because of a trade war. In Metuchen, Andrew Schmertz, NJTV News.
One employment sector just got a big boost. That tops tonight's business news. Rhonda Schaffler is away. Here with details on all the state's business is Joanna Gagas. Joanna?
Mary Alice, President Trump has signed a law that protects New Jersey's Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst from closure. The base is New Jersey's second largest employer, supporting 142,000 jobs. The John S. McCain National Defense Authorization Act provides the Joint Base with funding for 15 new aerial fuel tankers. They can refuel all U.S. and allied military aircraft while in the air. The law also gives troops a 2.6% pay raise, the largest they've seen in nearly a decade. Trenton has been hit with a $13,000 fine by the Department of Environmental Protection after it failed to fix a water system that tested positive for lead earlier this year. The city-owned water utility, Trenton Water Works, had promised to replace its contaminated water lines starting in 2017, but it's missed several deadlines and has failed to document the work being done. The DEP is encouraging Trenton homeowners to test their own water for lead. Starting tomorrow, New Jersey's sports bettors can pony up in yet another Atlantic City casino. Resorts Casino is now the 5th in the state to allow sports betting on site. It's also the first casino to offer online and mobile sports betting through partnerships with DraftKings and the Stars Group. In its first full month of sports betting, the state reported $3.8 million of revenue. Total gaming revenue for July was $302 million. The state's VIG for the month, $23.4 million. But the numbers weren't as promising for Monmouth Park Racetrack, whose revenues dropped from $2.2 million in June to just over $856,000 in July. But CEO Dennis Drazen says he's waiting for the football season to get the bets back in the books. On Wall Street, stocks rebounded today, with the Dow up 112 points. And those are your top business stories.
Support for the Business Report is provided by Atlantic City Electric and Exelon Company, connecting communities and powering southern New Jersey.
Congressional campaigns have yet to heat up, but a snapshot of voter sentiment in District 3 shows there's not much daylight between Republican incumbent Tom MacArthur and his Democratic challenger, former National Security Advisor Andy Kim. A new Monmouth University poll of potential voters shows 41% backing MacArthur, 40% backing Kim, 15% undecided. MacArthur is linked to President Trump in a district where the poll indicates 46% of voters approve of the job Trump is doing. But pollsters say a national environment that favors Democrats appears to be the more important driver of the contest. There's no law that says police dash cam videos must be available to the public. An open records advocate had requested video of an arrest made in Barnegat, where the police chief had ordered officers to use their dash cams. But New Jersey Supreme Court justices, in a 4-3 ruling, found the chief's directive doesn't carry the force of law. Because there's no law mandating the recordings be made in the first place, there's no obligation to disclose them. No one in New Jersey need go without health care because of an inability to pay. The state has a network of federally qualified health centers that have long cared for the poorest residents. Leah Mishkin reports on the critical care they provide.
Need you to take your medication. Necesitas tomar la medicina.
I know, but...
We met Maritza Rivera at Metropolitan Family Health Network's location in Jersey City. This federally qualified health center is where she goes to monitor her diabetes.
So it's close to my job and everything, you know. It's something you got an appointment, you can walk over here.
Rivera doesn't have health insurance, but here she's able to walk in regardless of her ability to pay for her visit.
There are a large number of patients who are uninsured, underinsured, who need health care. So we perform that task. What federal funding is really for, the dollars that they provide really are to offset, uninsured patients.
Chief Medical Officer Patrick Beatty says federally qualified health centers tailor their services to what the community needs. At this location, there is a need for women's health, pediatric care, and management of chronic diseases like in Rivera's case.
So they put health centers essentially in what I call medically underserved areas.
New Jersey has 24 federally qualified health centers that operate 134 satellite locations across the state. About 1.8 million visits are made annually to New Jersey's locations by nearly 538,000 patients, according to the New Jersey Primary Care Association.
My providers average at least 20 visits a day. For example, last night I was here, I saw over 35 patients.
Nationally, nearly 1 in 12 Americans rely on a federally qualified health center for primary care, according to federal data.
And one of the things you have to understand is that we're embedded in the community. So we're pretty much local to most people. Most patients who come here walk. They literally walk into the facility.
Cynthia Robinson has known Dr. Beatty for over 20 years.
We choose to stay here because of the people here.
She says this health center has been instrumental in helping her navigate the best care.
I come here sometimes and I'm overwhelmed because if I go to somebody else, they don't know us. They don't know our history, and that's why it's so important here.
Health centers like this one have secured federal funding through 2019, and advocates hope the funding will continue. In Jersey City, Leah Mishkin, NJTV News.
Banning the bags, that tops tonight's Garden State Express. Our first stop, Atlantic County, where you can't have those single-use plastic bags and straws in county parks. The ban took effect Monday, even though the fate of a statewide ban is in limbo. Governor Murphy has yet to sign into law a bill passed by the legislature requiring merchants to charge a nickel a bag in towns that don't ban them, and it would prevent towns and counties that haven't already enacted bans to pass new ones. Next to the Great Egg Harbor Bridge, where a years-long $219 million reconstruction project may be finished by next summer. The Turnpike Authority in 2012 detected structural deficiencies that required an upgrade to maintain coastal evacuation routes. It opened a brand new southbound bridge to traffic in both directions 2 years ago. Once crews finish rehabilitating the northbound bridge, the Turnpike Authority says motorists can cross crane-free as early as next spring, leaving room on the southbound side for fishermen, bicyclists, and pedestrians. Finally, Jersey City, where dog walkers and show-offers had their day in the sun. As part of Jersey City's Pride Month, Hudson Pride and Corgi Spirits at the Jersey City Distillery hosted a dog costume contest dubbed Pride with Your Pup. Among the throng of kerchief-wearing canines was one with purple braids, and this one, named Indy Bear Calderon, who claimed first prize and a $50 gift card. Doggone. And that's the Garden State Express for Tuesday, August 14th. Something up in your neighborhood? Tip us off. Task force empaneled by the state Senate president worked 7 months on a sweeping plan to make the state more affordable. And with the ink barely dry, it's getting heat over recommendations to consolidate school districts and revamp public worker pensions. State Senate President Steve Sweeney joins chief political correspondent Michael Aaron.
Senator, let's start with pensions. You want to end the current pension system for new hires and those with under 5 years of service. Do you think Governor Murphy will go along with a proposal that would hurt the public employee unions that he has generally been so supportive of?
Michael, this isn't hurting public employees unions, it's saving their pension system. We can't go forward and continue to spend what we're spending. It just is not, it's going to break. And I think the governor has the state's interest at heart, so I look forward to working with him on these things. Look, we were in different places on school funding, as you know. We wound up getting a bill we all agreed on. So I look forward to continuing to work with the governor. You know, we have to address this problem. You know, when we did the problem back in 2010 and we addressed it, it was not enough of a fix to really fix the pension system. But if we hadn't done it then, the pension system would have been bankrupt in 2017. We're out of time.
How about the Assembly Speaker? Has he signaled one way or another whether he'll back the changes to the pension?
Listen, the Assembly Speaker told me he's going to look at everything that we're doing, and he's open to coming to solutions, because we have to come to solutions. I can't speak for him, Michael, except that I've been in coordination, and not coordination, but in communication with him for this entire process.
Police and fire are not part of this ending of they would stay in the current pension system for police and fire, is that correct?
Yeah, because they managed their pension systems over the years. They didn't game their pension systems, Michael. When, you know, when everyone else was paying 3.5, they were paying 8.5. When people lowered retirement age to get more benefits, they didn't game their system. They, you know, when everyone got 9%, they didn't play the game. So they showed real leadership in taking willingness to take care of and take leadership of their pension systems, where they're actually fiduciaries and they're going to manage their pension system. So bad things or good things are under their watch.
Another major recommendation deals with school mergers. You want to take roughly 300 districts that are currently K-4, K-6, and K-8, and require them to become part of a K-12 regional school district. Is that politically doable, to do away with half the school districts in the state?
Is it doable? Sure it is. Is it going to be difficult? Of course it will be. But when we spoke to Commissioner Lucille Davey about this, she was part of our task force.
Former education commissioner under
John Corzine.
John Corzine.
What we didn't know, Michael, what we found out is, like, you have a regional high school that might have 5 school districts sending their kids there. They're all teaching different history, math, and they're not even coordinating education. So what we saw is this is actually an improvement on the delivery of education. We're not going to close the school districts down. They're just going to become part of that regional high school, which, by the way, that's where community members all serve on that regional high school. But then you have one focus of curriculum from K to 12.
You say you're not going to close down school districts, but superintendents are going to be eliminated in this process.
There will eventually be loss of, like, there will be a reduction in superintendents, HR directors, personnel directors. There should be savings that comes about from purchasing, you know, from joint purchasing. Now, instead of 5 different school districts buying 5 different history books, you have one school district buying all the history books for the kids, and it's all the same. So, you know, Michael, it's really a better delivery of education that we're going for.
It's called Path to Progress. It's got 36 recommendations. Another one is to take the asset of the New Jersey Turnpike and dedicate it to the pension system. Where does the Turnpike money go now? Doesn't it go to support transportation?
When we talk about assets, Michael, it's about taking the value of the asset. We would put firewalls up if we were able to do these things without taking tolls. We don't want to take tolls. We just want to take the asset of the pension fund, of the Turnpike Fund, or other assets. Because what happens, Michael, just like we did with the lottery, as we transition from an old plan to a new plan, it takes 30 years. Like, if we did this new plan right away, 20% of the workforce would be in the new plan, which would reduce our obligation to the pension.
In 15 seconds, is this a conversation starter, or is this your agenda?
It's a conversation starter to get an agenda done. And I want to thank Senators Sarlo and Orho, who are the co-chairs of this committee.
Senate President Steve Sweeney, thanks very much for giving us the flavor of it.
Thanks, Michael.
some noteworthy facts that help you know Jersey. New Jersey has 590 school districts. There are 134 federally qualified health centers in New Jersey. The Route 495 viaduct is a 9-span bridge that opened in 1938. And the Garden State Parkway opened to traffic in 1954. If there's someone who you'd like to get to know Jersey, share. Use hashtag KnowJersey. Tomorrow on NJTV News, New Jersey's sky-high foreclosure rate. How's the state helping homeowners stay? To share any story you've seen tonight, go to njtvnews.org. I'm Mary Alice Williams. For all the men and women of NJTV News, thanks for being here. See you tomorrow.
The members of the New Jersey Education Association, making public schools great for every child. And PSE&G, we make things work for communities.
Have some water. Look at these kids. How are you? What do you see? I see myself. I became an ESL teacher to give my students what I wanted when I came to this country. The opportunity to learn, to dream, to achieve, a chance to belong and to be an American. My name is Julia Toriani Crompton, and I'm proud to be an NJEA member.